All right. So, guys, let us begin. So, last lecture, we talked about some of the commands related to Linux, creating folders, deleting folders, creating some files. These all things we saw, correct? And we also saw how to launch an EC2 instance, which is nothing but a virtual server, how to launch that from your AWS console. Okay. So every time you finish your work, just delete off the instance. Now, when you delete the instance, don't worry. When you're deleting, you will see an option uh, for elastic IPs and EBS. You will still be charged. Don't worry about that. You still don't know what is elastic IPs and volumes. As long as it is 0 and 0, nothing to worry about it. You will not be charged for it. And you can see here, offer monthly usage. In my login, it says only 735 hours. Okay, 735 hours are remaining, which means I've consumed only 15 hours so far. Correct? But 15 hours I wouldn't have consumed it. But still 15 hours consumption is. It could be 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Okay, whenever I have logged in or things like that, it has all done the billing 1 hour and 15 hours is gone. 735 hours is remaining. So let me quickly launch, okay, an instance. Let me give it as VM underscore 3. I will select the AMI. Can you quickly give me the recap? So by selecting an Amazon machine image, what am I doing here? It'll help me to select the operating systems. Also, there are application servers and all that. We will talk about that later. But for now, I'm selecting the operating system. Can you tell me now, T2.micro, what is it? It is a type of the server. Right now, I'm launching it for my usage, which is free to use for 750 hours. Then the key pairs. So if you notice, I don't have any key pair. I deleted the EC2. I deleted the key pairs also. So I'll click on create new key pair. I'll give it a name, PSA underscore AWS underscore key, and I'll click on create. Fine. So you notice there's an option now in the drop down. So you know why these key pairs are created? Because I will not be able to connect from the client to AWS server if this key pair is not there, because that acts like a login. Now forget about this network settings for now. I have a separate topic for you called as VPC, Virtual Private Cloud in AWS. I will cover this in depth manner and it's a very big concept, but we will make it easy. Don't worry about that. Now, allow SSH traffic from anywhere. So keep that particular thing checked, because SSH is nothing but the Git bash that I'm going to use it now. You'll not be able to use that and connect if this is not checked. And then after, okay, I'll click on launch instance. That's it. Is this clear? Now let's quickly connect with our EC2 from Git bash. So once this is done, let's go back to instances. I have the instance here. Just click on it, this checkbox, click on connect, and you see here, okay, I have downloaded the file. Yeah. Firstly, let me take this file, right click, copy the file. After copying the file, I'll go to G drive. Then I'll go to what? Okay, I'll go to some key pairs folder I think I created earlier. I'll delete off this one and I'll paste the new key pair. Okay, which is PSA underscore AWS underscore key pair, which we have all done it earlier. Now what I'll do, right click on it and select git bash. I'm not putting it on Zoom because you already know these steps. Next time onwards, I'll not do this. I'll keep this ready, which will save our 5 to 10 minutes of time. Okay. Now I will increase the font, and the very next thing I'm going to paste here is this command, right? Let's paste, not this, not this. I will have to uh, get these commands from here, right? So let's go to this, click on SSH client and copy this and paste this here. This is something to do with your file permissions. Okay. Then after, I'm going to next go back here, go to this example section that you see here, the example section, and click on this. Copy back. Okay. And then go to your git bash. Go to your git bash right? And paste this here and then enter. Got it? It'll ask you, do you want to connect? Yes. Hit on yes and connection is established. Clear the screen and ready to begin with our next part of session. Fine. So this one, I'll close that off and I have now here the client using which I can write the AWS command. Okay. So let's see this here. ls, do I have any files? I don't have any files right now. It is totally blank. So let us create some text files. How do you create the text file? Which is the command we use? Touch f1.txt. Now you can give a space. You can write f2.txt space f3.txt. At once it will create. Try that out. f1.txt space f2.txt space f3.txt. But now I will go here further. Touch f2.txt, touch f3.txt, and touch, let's do f4.txt. Now let's do ls. So you see that I got all the files. And if you want to see the long listing, we have already covered all that part. How do we do the long listing? ls-l. This will give you the time when these files basically were generated. Okay. Now we are back as I'm maintaining here some structured format for the classes. As I'm maintaining here some structured format of the classes. So I'm maintaining daily notes and the day-to-day syllabus in my Gmail, which I'm planning it earlier itself so that we can meet our target dates and complete the syllabus. So we are going to now look at RM, deleting a file. Did I do it in my previous lecture, guys? Deleting a text file was done. Good. So now we will look at how to rename the files. What if I want to rename the file? My file name is f4.txt. I want to change the name of the file. You know how to do that in Windows. We can just select the file, press F2 on your keyboard and rename the file. Suppose you have given the file name f4.txt in your Windows. Let's say there is a file here. Some file is here in G drive. Okay. Now this one. So if you want to rename, you just press F2 on your keyboard, select the file F2 and rename. That's how we do it in Windows. But how do we rename a file? The file I want to rename it, how do we do it? So you see there's a command called as mv, which renames or moves the files or directories. We will see what does it mean now. So firstly, I will here use this command mv. Fine. Now I want to rename the file. So what is that we are seeing here? To rename a file, give the existing file name and then the new file name. So what is the existing file name here? What is the existing file name here? f4.txt. And I wish to now change this particular file name from f4.txt to f0.txt. Let's hit on enter. Let's do ls. Can you see, is the file name now renamed? What was the file name earlier? F4. Do we see F4 here? We don't see F4 here. So what is the file name here now? f0.txt. f0.txt. I hope this part is clear, all of you now. Okay. Now it says you can also move the file, which means you can copy the file from one location to another. Not the content of the file. The file itself you can move from one location to another. Now let's do one thing. I have this file f0.txt. Where is it present? How do I check the current directory? How do I check the current directory? Can you tell me? PWD, present working directory. So what is the present working directory? /home/ what? EC2-user. Now in this I have the file. What are the files I've got here now? f0.txt. I want to create a folder with the name A and move this file to that folder. How do we create a folder? mkdir. What is the folder name? A. Now let us do ls. Do we have a folder here? Yes. I want to now move to this particular folder. I want to point to this folder. How do you do it? cd/ what will you write here? Home/ control. Okay, tab. Hit on tab and then A. So now let's do pwd. Which folder I am in right now? A. Now what I want to do, I want to move this particular file into this A folder. This A folder obviously I've created now. So this A folder is going to be empty. So how do I go back to the root folder, control, cd, tilde, cd, tilde. And now see that I'm back to the working directory. Did you understand now? Now I want to move this file. I want to move this file from this location to that folder A. Let's do that. So let's see the command again. In order to do that, you need to give the present location and the new location. Fine. The file present location here happens to be MV. The file present location is now in this folder, which is f0.txt. Now, right now I'm pointing to /home /ec2 hyphen user, in which f0.txt is there. I want to now move that to /home /ec2 /a. Let us do now. Okay, ls. Okay, you see that f0.txt is no longer here. I have just moved that file into this folder A now. Now this folder A, okay, will have that f0.txt. f0.txt will now be present within which folder? A folder. How do I go to A folder? Can you please tell me that? cd, and then what you will do? Space /A. Now let's do your ls. So now I'm checking the content of this folder A. What is present inside the folder? f0.txt. Is this clear, guys? Did you all understand this particular command? Please tell me. Right? So quickly tell me, what is the command that we need to use to rename a file? Can you tell me the template of that? mv. Then after that, what are we doing? mv. Then what are we doing? Using existing file name space the new name. mv space existing file name space new name. Remember that. Now, if you want to move a file from a present location, you want to move a file to a different location. You want to move a file from a present location to a different location. What will you do? mv present, like location, present location space what? The location that you want to move to. Is this clear, everyone? Okay. Now let's move ahead further. Now we have some more commands in your Linux, okay, that can help us to create new files, append the data to files, and display the file content, which means a touch command will create an empty file. But what if now I should be able to add some content to the file? I should be able to read the content of the file, correct? And I should be able to now create a file as well other than the touch command. So cat command in your Linux will help me to create a new file. You can add a content to that file, and you can also read the content of that file. Okay, so we will try to see the differences between touch and cat now quickly. So firstly, let me start off with a cat command. So let's go back to our Linux. Let's go back here, and I'll do cd space, and then what? Shift tilde, and then you see that here. Let's clear the screen and let's check the present working directory. Now it has a file which is f1.txt, correct? Now let me write here cat, and I will use one greater symbol. Only one greater symbol I'm using, and then I'll write f4.txt. We don't have f4 here. Now I'm writing cat with one greater symbol and f4.txt. Hit on enter, control C. After you hit on enter, press control C and do ls. What did it do? Sir, it created one file. It created one file with the name f4.txt. Can you tell me how did I create that? Come on, help me out with this again. Cat, then what? Huh? One greater symbol, then what? f5.txt. After that, what did I do? Control C and now ls. Correct? An empty file is created when you use cat greater than what? The file name. Now what I want to do, I want to write some content to this particular file. Let's go ahead and write some content inside this file. How do we write the content? Cat. This time you will use a double arrow. If you want to write some content into the file, use double arrow. I have a file name f1.txt. I have a file name which is called as what? f1.txt. So cat double arrow f1.txt. Moment you hit on enter, it is expecting you to give some input. Let's type hello. Let's type world. Let's type, okay, uh, key, let's write down by, let's write down C, let's again write down hello, okay, and then let's write down go, right? Hit on enter, press Control C, and now you see with this cat command, I was able to write some content. Moment I press Control C, now the content has gone inside the file. Okay. Now, if you want to see the content of this file, sir, firstly I use cat one single arrow file name to create a file. Then I used cat double arrow, right? And then the file name, and I started writing the content. Now I want to see the content. So to see the content of this file, you can just type cat f1.txt, and now it reads the content of the file. That's why I said the cat command will not only create the content, will not only create a file, but it can add the content into the file, and it can also read the content from the file. Okay, is this clear? Everyone got this now? Online students, yes. Online students, yes. Are you understanding now? ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स, आर यू क्लियर विद दिस? देखो भाई, कमांड है, उसने जिस हिसाब से क्रिएट किया है, हमें सीखना है. अब कंट्रोल सी क्यों कर रहे हो? आप एक काम करो, जो बंदा था उसका नाम क्या था? करेक्ट. हाँ, आप उसको पकड़ो और पूछो ऐसा क्यों किया. मुझे मत पकड़ो कि ये कैट कमांड कैट बोल के क्यों है, राइट? वाई इट इज नॉट कॉल्ड एज भाऊ, वाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज कैट. तो ये उसने किया, हमें सीखना है, हमें फॉलो करना है. वी हैव टू रिमेंबर दिस. इज दिस क्लियर एवरीवन? ओके, राइट. नाउ लेट्स मूव अहेड. Okay, let's move ahead further. I hope online people are able to follow, right? Yes. Now let's continue further. ग्रुप में लिंक नहीं आया आज, सभी ग्रुप्स में लिंक नहीं डाला आज. सभी व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में लिंक्स नहीं आया आज. Okay, I'll inform the staff. Anyways, let's go here. Clear. Now, see this here. How many files I've got now? f1.txt, f2.txt, f3, f4, f5. Okay, so far we are clear with the things now. Okay, that how cat command can create a file, write a content, and then after that read the file. Is this clear? Okay, let's move ahead with the next content now. Now, what is the next content? We are going to have a look at it. Now, what I want to print the content of the file with the line numbers. Okay, like cat hyphen n, and what if I write f1.txt? Writing this hyphen n, what does it make? Now it gives me the line numbers. See, at line 1 there is hello, line 2 world, line 3 he, by, and it goes on. Got it? If you want to have the content of the file with the line numbers for some readability purpose, then in that case you people can go ahead and use this hyphen n command. Okay, so cat hyphen n command and give the file name. I hope this part is clear for all of you. Right? Is this clear, everyone? Yes. Okay. So come on, quickly recap, because ये छोटे छोटे कमांड्स से और छोटे कमांड्स याद रखना ही मुश्किल होता है. Right? So let's recap everything. What are the different ways I can create the file? Touch command, cat command. Can you tell me what a cat command can do? It can create a file, write the content to file, read the file. So can you tell me how do you use cat command to create a file? Cat space a greater arrow and file name, done, and control C. How do you write a content to the file? Cat command, two greater symbol, and then the file name, and then after that you write the content into it. But I have a question now. What if now I write down cat double arrow, and now if I write f6.txt, I don't have this file. I have the file till f5. x6 is not there. Now, if I use a double arrow with an f6.txt, the file is not there. Will it create a file, or will it give an error telling create a file first? Huh? It is not giving error. If you notice, hello world. And now see control C, ls. So if you notice what happened, if the file is not there, it is automatically creating a file. Did you understand now? Did you understand this part? Okay, now let's do ls hyphen l. Can you see the timestamp? F6 was created at 15:25. This is the server time. The server with which we are interacting, that's the time of that server now. Is this clear? Now I have another question for you now. I'll teach you how to deactivate the instance today. I did not do that in my last class. Today I'll teach you how to stop your instance as well. Don't worry. Now I have another question for you. Now I already have f6.txt. Now what if I use a touch command on that and do f6.txt? Will it override the content or it will not? I'll give an error, it'll override the content or something else will happen. Okay, see this here now. Now when I did touch f6.txt, if I now do ls-l, you see that here the timestamp of that has changed. It was 15:26, but now you notice it has happened to be now, okay, 15:25 it was, now it is 15:26. The timestamp has changed. One thing what I've observed is now, whatever my file was earlier that was created, that timestamp of that is changed. But my question is the content of that file gone? Is only the time changed or the content of the file is gone by using this touch f6.txt? What do you say? So how do I now read the content? f6.txt. Observe, the content is not gone. Got it? The touch command will not replace a file. Keep this in mind. The touch command will not replace a file. It will only update the time the file I have interacted with it using the touch command. Okay, it updates the time when I interacted with it. Is this clear, everyone? But can you tell me, if I use a cat command, what will it do now? If I use cat command and suppose I use the single arrow and if I use f6.txt, can you tell me what it will do? Huh? It will override, is it? Okay, so I did that now, and let's see cat f6.txt. Which means whenever you're using cat command, please be careful about it because it's dangerous, right? If there is a lot of content in your file and by mistake if you have done this, your earlier content of the file is gone. Got it? But touch command, when you're using it, okay, what happens is your content earlier what was there will not get disturbed. So be careful about it. Okay, whenever you're creating a file, advisable, go with the touch command. So if any file is there with that name, already if there is a file with that name, at least the content of the file will not be disturbed. But by mistake now, you used a cat command and you did not realize there was already a file with so much of content in it, all that file data will get overridden and that will cause a lot of problem. Is this clear, everyone? Samjhe kya? Everyone clear with this? Okay. Now let's continue further. Let's look at some more things. Interesting? Yes, everyone, interesting. Now I'll teach you how to copy the content of the file. How do I copy the content of the file? But before I copy the content of the file, there is one small topic I would like to mention here. So cat f1.txt, right? What it will do? It'll print the content from the beginning to end. What if I want to print this content in reverse manner? If I use cat f1.txt, it is reading from first line to last line. But what if I want to print this from last line to first line? Tag, उल्टा. बहुत भद्दा सा कमांड है, राइट? देखो उसने उल्टा कर दिया. ओके, कैट को टैग कर दिया. अब वही आप मुझे पूछोगे ये टैग क्यों है, ये बैट क्यों नहीं है, तो इसका जवाब मैं नहीं दे पाऊंगा. बॉल क्यों है, इसका जवाब मेरे पास नहीं है. बट सी, इट डिड द कंटेंट रीडिंग इन अ रिवर्स वे नाउ. Did that happen in a reverse way? Is this clear? So cat will read the content from beginning to end. Tag will read the content from. Now why? Because see, sometimes there's a requirement. Whenever I write the content into the file, I'll write line by line. The latest content is present at the last line. Imagine the file has some 1000 lines. Now I want to read the last line. So what you will do, you will get the last lines to the top just by doing tag. What will happen, it will come in reverse way. When it comes in reverse way, the latest lines are on the top. Got it? So I want to see some latest contents of the file. Could be some error logging or something has happened in the servers and I would like to now see that. But let's not talk about all that and make things for now. Okay, complex, we'll go step by step. Let's look at here now. Next thing. Now we will move ahead with the next set of command. Okay. Now the next set of command that we people are going to see here is the cp command, copy file. Now what copy file does? The cp command is used to copy the data from one file to another file. If you want to copy the data from one file to another file, use a cp command. How to do that? See this here. Now, I already have the files here. Now, f2 file is empty. Do you agree with that? ls f2.txt. Is it empty? Yes. Oh, sorry. ls, अरे क्या कर रहा हो बाबा? cat, हाँ, cat, what is that? f2.txt. ठीक है? Clear. Clear. Okay, that is empty. Is this clear now? Now, I want to copy the content from f1 to f2. How do you do that? Just use cp. And then the source file. This is the source file. The content is present in the source file. I want to copy that content from the source file to the destination file. Which is the destination file? Right? Is this clear? Now check cat, and then after you will write f2 dot what? txt. What do you see now? Copied, everyone? Yes. Now the content is in f1. That content is copied to f2. So is the content from f1 gone? हाँ, कॉपी करें. बहुत अच्छे हो कॉपी करने में आप. इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट्स कॉपी किए बगैर अगर डिग्री कंप्लीट कर लेंगे तो बुरी बात है. तो जे वो बाकी का कमांड सीखा कि नहीं सीखा, ये कमांड इसने सीख लिया. कॉपी एकदम. अभी तक सब गलत आंसर दे रहे थे, ये वाला आंसर आपका करेक्ट है. राइट. सो कैट f1 डॉट txt, सी दिस हियर नाउ. इट इज जस्ट कॉपिंग. देखो उसको बहुत अच्छा मालूम है, सामने वाले का पेपर देख के कॉपी करूंगा, उसका कंटेंट थोड़ी ना चला जाएगा. उसको भी मार्क्स आएगा, मेरे को भी मार्क्स आएगा. हाँ. Now, everybody, I hope you got this idea now, basically what this cp command is doing here. I hope this part is clear. Now I have the content in f1.txt, I have the content in f2.txt. What I want to do now? Copy the content of f1 and f2 to f3 together. How will you do it? Okay, how will you do it? See this here now. So I have here an example. Okay, firstly given is to copy the content, but now I also have here, if you want to copy the data from multiple files and combine them in a single file. I have multiple files, I want to copy all that data and combine that into one file. Then how do I do it? So okay, what we will do here now, we're going to write cp f1.txt. Is this clear? Then I'm going to write f2.txt. I want to copy the content of f1.txt. I want to copy the content of f2.txt into, just use a greater symbol, into what? f3.txt. See, all these commands only if you are practicing, you will get confident about it. Daily you have to practice, only 15 minutes it will take. 15 minutes practice, stop. Again, when you get time, 15 minutes practice and try to see whether you're able to get handy with the commands. Is this clear? Otherwise, after a lot of commands, then you will feel, I'm not able to remember anything. Then you will eat chavanprash, but still you will not be able to remember. Trust me. Right? Now, cat, look at that. f3.txt and still, okay, what's happening now? The content did not come here. Right? So I've done some, what is a mistake I've done here? Why the content has not come here? Why the content has not come here? Right? Copy f1.txt cat. Did I use here cat? Okay. I have to use here, I have to use here the command cat, not cp. Okay? A small correction. देखो मेरे को थोड़ी ना याद रखना, याद आपको रखना है, आप लोग याद रखोगे. Right? I have to use here cat. If you want to get the older command, just upper arrow on your keyboard, press the upper arrow, go back here, and then after what you do is cat. Is this clear? Not cp. Okay, understand this now. Now do that cat f3.txt. Is this clear? The content of f1 and f2 combined together, I'm putting that in f3. One small correction here, it is not the cp command, it is a cat command which can copy the content of multiple files into what? The single file. Is this clear? Everyone, online students, did you understand? पता नहीं क्या चल रहा है न्यू ईयर के बाद, 2 दिन के बाद आपको देख रहा हूं, बच्चे होश में नहीं लग रहे. राइट? होश में लग रहे हैं कि होश में नहीं है, कि बेहोश है, बेहोशी के हाल में? Okay, anyways, let's now continue further. Now we have seen how to copy the content of multiple files into single file. Can we quickly do a recap of it? Yes, tell me. What is the first command I started my today's class with? Touch command. Okay, now I'll ask you certain questions, answer that. I already have a file f6.txt. I already have a file f6.txt with some content. Again, if I use touch f6.txt, will the content be lost or only the timestamp of the file will be updated? Excellent. Okay. Now, the next thing, tell me one thing. Using a cat command, can I create a file? Yes. But then what is the difference between touch and cat? Sir, very simple. Spellings are different. Nahin. Okay. The cat command, when you use it on an existing file, it is replacing the content. So be careful about it. Is this clear? Can you tell me how to print the content of the file with the line numbers? How to print the content of the file with the line numbers? Can you tell me that? Cat hyphen n and then the file name. Excellent. Can you tell me how to print the content of the file in the reverse manner? Tag, tag, and then we will use f6.txt. Can I use tag hyphen n? बिना पता रहे इतना कॉन्फिडेंटली आंसर देते हो आप लोग, कमाल है। कब यूज किया था? राइट, मैंने तो बताया नहीं है। राइट, सो कैन आई यूज योर टैग? कैन आई यूज योर टैग hyphen n and can I use your f1.txt? मतलब ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस से हम भरे रहते एनी टाइम, यस और नो? राइट, यू कैन नॉट यूज योर हाइफन एन. नाउ टेल मी वन थिंग. If I use cat double arrow f7.txt, if the file is not there, will it create a file? Then we'll write a content into and save it. That's using for writing the content. How do you print the content? Cat followed by the file. How do you copy the content of one file to another file? One ask. How do you copy the content of multiple files into one? Excellent, with a arrow. Okay, good. Now, let's continue further. Now, what we will do, we will now look at the next command. Now, we will look at a command called as head. Sometimes you want to get only the first 10 lines, first 15 lines, first 5 lines of the content of the file. The file content is too much, but I'm interested only in the first 10 lines. So, what we use here is a head command. So, head is another way of reading the file content. See this here? Head. And then you just give the file name f1.txt. We'll use f6 because f6 has a lot of content, right? f6.txt. f6 or f3? f3. f3.txt. So when I use head, it is going to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exact 10 lines are there. It printed all 10 lines. But when you use head, it is going to give me the first 10 lines of my file. You can add more content to it. How do I add more content to it? Cat double arrow f3.txt. Right? We will add here world world in the same line. Then again, let's write hello and then control C. Now let's do cat. Let's do now clear. Now let's see this here. Now what happens? Is the file content return, over return? Earlier content is gone, or is it appended the content? I used double arrow. Has it appended the content or the file content is gone? Huh? Appended the content. I'll use head. Now if I use head, what is the file name? f3.txt. You see that? I'm not getting that. Got it? Head command will give you the first 10 lines of the file. The first 10 lines of the file, if you want, you can use it using head, you can do it. Now, the second thing is, if you want a particular set of lines to be reading of particular set of lines, you want to do it from a file. There might be 100 lines, I want to read only 5 lines. How do I do it? So what are we going to do here now? Okay, I'm going to use here a command that's called as head. And then what if I use here 5? Can I do this? Can I do this? Can I directly write 5 f3.txt? Right? So what we have to do is head hyphen n 5. and then you will use here f3.txt. Is this clear, everyone? Now be careful about it. You cannot write it like this. You have to remember -n. Okay, so that will now read only 5 lines. How many lines we had totally in this now? I added new content as well in that, isn't it? But now see, I'm able to read only 5. What if I want to read only 3? Can you tell me the command? Head, I want to read first 3 lines. -n 3. What is it then? f3.txt. How many? 3. Did you understand what is head command used for? Yes? Okay. Now tell me one thing. What if now I want to get the last 10 lines of my file? The first 10 lines we saw. They go head, tail. देखो कमांड का नाम कैसे रखा है head tail, right? Then you're going to use your what? The tail command. What is the file name? f3.txt. So it will give me what? Last 10 lines. See, world I added later. Do you understand that? That was not printed earlier, but now see, the last 10 lines are present. Okay, I want only the last 3 lines. Can you guess the command? Should I write -n or 3? Then f3 dot. Okay, how many lines I got now? 3 lines I got. So -n 3, f3.txt. Let's make it here as what? Clear. I hope this part is clear, all of you. See, these commands are required. You know why? Because later you will download the softwares in AWS, you will install the softwares in AWS, you will unzip the software, right? You will install all of these things. So for that we will use commands, but there is much better way to do it. But फिर भी Linux commands is required. Okay. Now let's continue further. I hope this part is clear for all of you. Everybody got this now? Tail command, head command. Now let's start with grep command. Now can you tell me, if you want to search a content in this file, how will you search a content in this file? Control F, and let's say I want to search the content working. Cannot find. Right? Let me go to the top of the file here, place the cursor, Control F, and let's type working. See, this is what I do it, searching for the content in the file in our Windows operating system. In the whole file, I want to search the content. Is this clear? I'll do Control F and let me make W capital. Okay, I'll again place the cursor here, W capital. It still works. Which means here the search operation, I'm doing it in the file using Control F. I get this particular Finder pop-up box, and in this Finder pop-up box, guys, whether I write W capital or lowercase, it is working for both. But the question is now, I have a file called as cat f3.txt. Now in this particular file, I'm very much interested in this particular file. I'm very much interested in searching those files that happens to have the word hello, or it starts with the word he. How do I do it now? Okay, I want to find out those words that happens to begin with he. How do I do it? So that's where they've given us a beautiful command called as grep. Grep stands for global regular expression. Regular expression, it means finding the things by not providing complete things. A partial text also, if you give it, it is still capable of searching. Instead of giving HELLO, I can just give HEL and it can still search. So this acts like a partial search mechanism for me. Not the exact search. The partial match happens also, it will give me. How? So the grep command is used to search a specific pattern or a keyword in a file. A specific pattern or a keyword. If I write completely hello, it becomes a specific keyword. If I write HELL, that is a pattern that I'm basically finding there. Anywhere that happens to have HELL, that happens to be this. But now be very careful about it. I can also search through multiple files. In Windows, if I want to search, I have to open one by one file and search. But here in Linux, if you want multiple files, I can search at once. We'll see that. But firstly, understand the grep command searches are by default case sensitive. Are by default what? Case sensitive. For example, let's go here. Now I'll type here grep. Now when I type here grep, understand that what is happening. I'm going to give here in single quotes HE. Okay, and let me HEL. Let me give it here HEL. Okay, HEL. Fine. And now I will give the file name f3.txt. If you look at the file name, it gives me all that words that happens to have what? Starts with what? HEL. I hope this part is clear, all of you. Did you understand this now? Yes. Please tell me, did you all understand this now? How does it work? Yes, everyone clear? Okay. But now look at here. If I do this, suppose I change this to lowercase. Is the search happening? It's not giving me all the words. It's giving me only that word that happened to begin with lowercase, which means the grep command by default is a case sensitive comparison. The grep command by default is a case sensitive comparison. Whenever you're performing a search in your file, okay, it basically is taking the case into consideration. Sir, now what if I enter only a letter H? Can I just search based on that? Give me all that words in the file that consist of letter H. You can do that. You can give your H and you can give the file name f3.txt, which means grep, okay, which means search this letter H in this file, and wherever the match happened, give me the output. Is this clear? But it's not giving basically the lowercase h. Then how do I basically go with the lowercase h? In order to go with the lowercase h, we will use this command I. What is the command we will use? See now, if I now use grep followed by hyphen I, which means case insensitive comparison. I want to do case insensitive comparison, right? Hyphen I, and then we are going to give here HE. And now let's search that in f3.txt. See, I'm getting everything uppercase, lowercase, everything I'm getting it here. This makes it a case insensitive comparison. I hope this part is clear. What is it making? It is making it a case insensitive comparison. I hope this part is clear. Pattern search. You observe what basically it mentioned. I mentioned the pattern search. Correct. I'm giving you now. Let's say I'll go back here. And you see that I'm giving E. Correct. Now still it is giving me. You see that it's a that's why I said it's a pattern search or a keyword search. A complete match it will search for, or a pattern search like HELLO. Look at that. Now this is a complete search. So it's not giving me those words which has what? E. That's why I mentioned very clearly it is a pattern search or a complete keyword search. It can do both. I hope this part is clear. All of you, did you understand this now? Yes. So how do you search the content in the file? Which is the command? Grep command. Now, but grep command by default is case sensitive or case insensitive. It is case insensitive or case sensitive? Case sensitive. How do I make it case insensitive? Excellent. Now, we will use the next command that is called as hyphen n. Now, why hyphen n is used? Grep. I will use hyphen n. Can you tell me why hyphen n is used? Huh? Okay, I will type here HELLO, or let me just type HE. And now I will use the file f3.txt. So what it is going to give me? The line numbers in the file where this was found. Got it? The line numbers in your file where this was found. Did you understand? Everyone? Yes, it'll give me the line numbers. But this is case sensitive, no? Smaller, lowercase h is not working. So what do I do here now? Which one more command I have to use? Did you understand now? So I'm now combining hyphen n with hyphen I. Hyphen n gives me line number and hyphen I makes it case sensitive. Now, case insensitive, it will make hyphen I. Now tell me one thing. Is that the order I need to follow here? I'm writing hyphen n and then I. Can I do hyphen I then n? Can I do this? हाँ? यहाँ पे order का ये Java थोड़ी ना है. Right? Is it Java that the keywords has to be in sequence here? There is nothing like that. Right? Now, मतलब अभी तक आपने पढ़ाई तुक्का लगा के किया हुआ है. राइट गेस करके आपने क्या किया हुआ है डायग्राम लिख और स्टोरी अपने आप लिख दिया इंजीनियरिंग में मतलब गेस वर्क पे अपना काम चल गया अभी तक right anyways everybody clear with this now everybody understood this particular part okay now let's continue further What is the next command we're going to see now? The next command, search the lines that does not contain the word. Now what I want to do is, so far we were comparing, finding out the things where HE is present. But give me those lines where HE is not present. What will you do now? Grep hyphen V. Okay, hyphen V means do not consider HE. Without HE, give me the content. So give me those content which does not have HE. But lowercase are working. But you notice the uppercase HE is gone. How do I make it case insensitive? Any guess? How do I make it case insensitive? So should I write it before or after? Huh? Anywhere is it? Sure. So upper arrow. I will remove this from here. Make this V. And let's write this as I. Got it? Is this clear? I want to give the line number. How do I give the line number? Huh? Should I follow the order or anywhere? Is this clear, everyone? Now there is no order for these things, options that we are using it here. The order does not matter here. Okay, I hope this part is clear for all of you online students. You're all understanding? Yes. Okay, now in my company we are using Linux same, and we are get the chance, we deployed our code. Okay, thank you sir. Okay, this is very useful for me sir. Okay, अभी तो चालू हुआ है भाई, अभी तो लिनक्स कमांड चालू हुआ है, अभी तो बहुत सारी चीजें इसमें एक्सप्लोर करनी है. राइट, यस, यू विल एंजॉय, डोंट वरी. रेगुलर रहे क्लास में तो क्लासेस समझ आएगा. ओके, नाउ लेट्स कंटिन्यू फर्दर. नाउ द नेक्स्ट थिंग वी विल लुक एट बेसिकली is I want to search the word in all the files. Now, what do you mean by all the files? These are all the files. These are all the files and folders. I would like to now search basically the content in all the files. How do you do it? Grep, then. Huh? You will now search in all the files, the question is. So what do you want to search here? HE. In all the files. Can I write a star? See. So it's giving me the first file has this, second file has this, this all files has this content. Did you understand this now? Yeah, everybody got it now? But this becomes a case sensitive comparison. How do I make it case insensitive? Huh? Can I add that here? Are you sure about it? Right? Is this clear? How do I get all that content? How do I get all that content which is not matching to this? Huh? Hyphen V. Is this clear, everyone, now? So apart from matching that, everything I'm getting it. Is this clear, everyone? How do I get the line numbers? Can I give the line number here? Hyphen N. Is this clear? So every file with the line numbers, you have the content which has been found. But this is super fast now. If you're doing same thing in Windows, it's time consuming, right? You have to go to every file and do it. Look at here how quick it is happening. When the UI is not there, and when you work through this, the performance you will see it will be quick. Got it? Because the load on your operating system of the GUI is not there. The resource consumptions of your server is less. I hope this part is clear for all of you. Okay. Now we guys have covered basically. Okay. Now do one thing. I want to search a word in the last 10 lines of my file, or the first 10 lines of my file, or the first 5 lines of my file. I want to check the word HE in the first 5 lines. How do you do that? Okay. I want to search in the last 10 lines. How will you do it? You'll use a tail command. How do you get the last 10 lines of your file? Tail f3.txt. But tail command can read only the last 10 lines. The tail command can read only the last 10 lines. But on that last 10 lines that I'm reading, so tail f3.txt will read last 10 lines. That last 10 lines I have to pass it to the next command. So we will use pipeline. And we can give multiple commands. So what this will do? An output of this will go to the next command. Now the next command is grep. And what I want to do in this grep command, I want to search for HE, right? HE. Okay. Should I again give the file name further? No. Did you understand now? So in the first 10, last 10 lines, this is the thing. Now, let's say I want now the last 3 lines. Can I do this? So the output of one command can be given to another command. That's what it's called as pipes. Pipes means, okay, the output of one command will flow to another command from here. The output of this will become an input to this. Did you understand? Yeah, that is where we can use multiple commands and write it like this. I hope this is clear. Okay, now tell me one thing. I want to apply grep on the first 10 lines. How will you do it? How will you do it? Head. Okay, first 5 lines. Okay, can I do this? Pipeline. And which command are you supplying here? And what are you giving here? File name. File name. Okay, F3. Sorry बाबा माफ कर दो. राइट गलती हो गई. ठीक है? फाइल नेम. ठीक है? भड़क जाते हो आप लोग. Now look at that. Hello. Is this clear, everyone? Everyone clear with this? Everybody got this now? Okay. So now we people have understood some of the commands, okay, related to the searches that we can do it. So again, I'm reading what is grep command. Grep command is used to search for a specific pattern or a keyword in a file. It can also search through multiple files and directories. Now let's look at the word count. Okay, now let's look at the next command that is called as a word count. Okay, I want to count the number of lines in a file. I want to count the number of words in a file. I want to count the number of characters in the given file. How do I do it now? Okay, so I have a command here called as WC. WC stands for what? Word count. Okay, so let's clear the screen. Let's use your WC, word count. Now, can I write this commands in the capital letter in Linux? Can I use a capital letter and write f3.txt? Will it work? f3.txt, will it work? So remember, the commands that I'm talking about are case sensitive. Be careful about it. Is this clear now? Whatever commands we are typing here, it happens to be, will this work? Will this work? Huh? C is capital. No. So whatever commands I'm typing here are case sensitive. Is this clear? Okay. So keep this in mind. Now let's continue further. Now I want to count, okay, the number of lines, number of words, and the number of characters in the given file. Just type WC and give the file name f3.txt. See that? How many lines are there? How many words are there? You know why 17? Because in one of the line I've written on world 2 times. You can see this here. Cat f3.txt. See, number of lines is 16. But in one line I've added how many words? 2 words. So that's where the number of words is and number of characters is. Is this clear? Everyone got it now? So like this you can count the number of lines, number of words, everything. Now tell me one thing. I want the line numbers. Can I do that here? Huh? कहां पे लाइन नंबर दोगे? क्वेश्चन ही गलत है, फिर भी आंसर देते हो. राइट? क्वेश्चन ही गलत है. राइट? यहां पे मैं लाइन नंबर दूंगा तो कैसे होगा? हाइफन एन दूंगा. हाँ. राइट? चेकिंग करना पड़ता है, सो रहे हो के जगह भी हो. Right, f3.txt. Now I want only the line number. Okay, now look at here. I want only the line number. How do I get only the line number? In order to get only the line number, I'll be using the command wc-l f3.txt, and this will give me only the line number. Got it? I want only the number of lines in the given file. If you want only the number of lines in the given file, use this command. You don't want other things. I want only the number of lines in my file. The number of lines, if you want, -l. Same way, the next command that we have it is, I want only the number of words. What are the number of words we want here? -w. f3.txt. Guess किया या copy किया? देख के guess किया. Okay, 17, f3.txt. Is this clear, everyone, now? And like this, if you want the, yes, count the number of characters only, what will you use? Huh? हाइफन सी इसीलिए बोलते गेस नहीं करना है, राइट? डिड यू अंडरस्टैंड एवरीवन नाउ? अब उसके मन में जो है उसने कर दिया, अब वो क्यों एम रखा पता नहीं, उस टाइम पे उसके दिमाग में क्या है पता नहीं मुझे, but उसने ऐसा कमांड रख दिया. Is this clear? So hyphen L, the basically it'll give me the number of lines. Hyphen W, it'll give me the number of words, and hyphen M will give me the number of characters. I hope this part is clear for all of you. Yes. Any other questions? No questions. So I'm giving you one assignment now. One practice assignment I'm giving you, which I'm keeping it here. You will all practice this and come back. Is this clear? So this is the assignment. Practice task. Use a cp command to copy the content of file 1.txt into file 2.txt. Right? Try to do this particular assignment. Recorded इसमें है, करके आ जाना. नहीं तो at least अपना command at least practice कर लेना. Is this clear everyone? Today's class was clear? Yes? हाँ. इंस्टेंस कैसे डिलीट करना है? ओके, नाउ सी इन ऑर्डर टू डिलीट एन इंस्टेंस, just go here and in your instances you see here there is an option. So let's firstly select the instance. See, running this instance 750 hours is free. Even if you don't delete चलते रहेगा. हमने कुछ एक्स्ट्रा सर्विसेज नहीं डाला है, अभी तो हम फ्री सर्विसेज पे ही काम कर रहे हैं. If some extra services is added, then it will happen. But still, if you want to delete, you see this here, go to instance state, terminate delete instance. Is this clear? Select this option. Now you notice there is something, the default action is for, okay, EBS volume to be deleted when the instance is terminated, storage on local drives only. ये छोड़ दो, अपने को EBS से कुछ लेना देना नहीं अभी, अपने आप सारा क्लियर होगा क्योंकि एक्स्ट्रा extra memory is not attached. We have not taken any external hard disk and attached to our server. We have not done any extra storage space that has been given. So don't worry. Delete this. Is this clear? See, shutting down. And that will delete your instance. I hope this part is clear for the students in today's class. Bye guys. Take care. We'll meet up again in the next class.